SuperBacks. What's happening? Good afternoon. This is Nomad Live, all Bears all the time, with my co-host, my good friend Shawn the SuperBack, with my guy Chris Washington chipping in and back there on the ones and twos. We do have some breaking news for you guys, but we're going to save that for a minute and get to that right after this first part here. But there's two-part breaking news going on right now, to be quite frank with you. The first part we're going to get to right away. But before we do that, Shawn, you have any shout-outs before we pop them with the news we have here?
Yeah, I want to say what's up to all my SportsZoners who are checking it out, man. It's a great collabo we have here with the Nomad Network and SportsZone Chicago. I just want to say everybody who's coming on, checking it out, man, I appreciate the love and the support, Papa. I really do. I love it.
Hopefully you guys, please, follow my lead here, man, and go over to SportsZone Chicago and show that man the same love that you show us over here at the Nomad Network. Get that man likes up, get that man's views up, get that man's subscription up run them on up for us. Do like my guy said in the chat the other day. I went and made 4 different accounts so I can make sure you get some more subs. Man, that was so much love. When I saw that, I was just like, oh my God, I gotta find out who that was that said that, man. So I gotta do something special for that person, because that was just pure love right there. We appreciate you guys so much for all the support, man. We really do. And so let's just get right on into it. Let's just go right on in, Shawn. Let's
do it.
Let's talk about the first part breaking news, man. I think it is official. Last night it was sources, but this morning when I saw Jason McKee send a shout out to Devin Hester on a congratulations about getting in the Hall of Fame, I knew it was official. And so it is official. Devin Hester, Mongo McMichael, and Julius Peppers have officially gotten the nod for the Hall of Famer. But as of right now, Chris, I'm going to turn it on over to you to congratulate. Here we go.
The moment that I officially went crazy, my neighbors called the police. They thought there was murder happening in my house.
You know what? You knew exactly where the hell you were at 17 years ago in 2 days. You knew exactly where you were at. Exactly. Oh, you don't got the audio?
No, he don't have the audio.
And here he goes. 40, midfield, 40, 35, 30. Go, let's go. 20, touchdown. No flags.
I just knew that I thought we were going to walk all over this team, man.
I'm like, blowout.
Just like, but with Chris, I thought I was the only person that was like, uh-oh. Our team was built on speed, especially defensively. When it started raining, I was like, oh, my God. Man,
yeah,
they killed the ball like they want to.
Yeah, Rexy and the rain wasn't a good match.
Man.
But it was what it was, man. But I'm so happy for this brother, man, that he made it. You know what? Sayers, Peyton, Hester, most exciting players in Bears history, man. And some of you guys aren't old enough to remember Gale Sayers. He was
I'm not
18 inches of daylight, but
that's all he said.
That's all he needed, man. Of course, Peyton is the GOAT, but Devin Hester, still one of my top 5 all-time favorite Bears, man. The brother he just exude excitement, and every time they kicked to him, you knew magic was going to happen.
Hey,
Brian, you're damn right. I slept in it. I slept in it. I slept in it, showered in it. I got a hair dryer, for my big man of hair, and I dried it. So I just,
Brian really blasts you out like.
Or I just put the other black shirt I have on. I do have more than one.
Hey man, hey listen. So we got.
I got jokes, huh? You got jokes, huh?
Hey, Brian's a character, man. He's a real character. Hey, but yeah, man, I was excited for him. I'll be quite honest with you. Mongo, I'm glad that he got in. I would not have been upset like a bunch of people would have if he hadn't have, because of a bunch of different reasons. But I am certainly glad he got in there, because just in the state that he's in right now, I think it's a great honor to know that they gave that to him. It makes me feel good that they gave that to him in the state that he's in right now. Everybody, if anybody here doesn't know, man, Mongo is not good. I mean, he's not good at all. There's no telling how much longer he has. But, man, I know that he's in the. I believe the last time I saw him, he was still, functioning from the neck up, and he will know that he's gotten the nod to the Hall of Fame. So just him knowing that makes me feel good. Make me feel good.
Yeah, and it's awesome, and it's not. I mean, something a lot of people say it's a pity induction, but you got to understand this dude was probably the key to that defensive line. All right, this dude when he retired, he had the most sacks for defensive tackles in the NFL. So when he retired, so he wasn't just another dude. All right, I mean, let's be honest. That whole team had a slew of characters, offensively and defensively. But he was one of them. He was bigger than life, and I've had a chance to party with him when he was coaching the Slaughter. I met him a few times. He's just, dude, he's a real one. He's a real one, and you know what? I am very happy for him. And you know what's really cool is Jared gets to induct the second person into the Hall of Fame now. Jared inducted his dad, and then he, I don't know if you guys heard a few months ago, but Jared went on social media and said that he would induct Steve McMark. He was asked by his wife if he would do that if he got inducted. So I think that's pretty cool for JP.
That is cool, man. I did not know that. Jared Payton is he's just such a great representative, not for only Chicago football, but for his family and the NFL, man. I love that young man.
He's a great statesman, man. Great statesman. I really look forward to one of these days him coming on here and talking to him, man. I do appreciate him a whole lot because his poise and his presence and he's got that, that subconscious of knowing that, man, whenever I go out here and I have to go do something, I'm representing my father, my mother, the brand that is Walter Payton, and all of that. He's got that in his mind as he's doing whatever he's doing, and to be able to hold up and be that statesman for his family and the state and all that, and then have, people like Mongo that the family really respect him enough to want him to do that. That's great, man.
Yeah, and he gets it. He knows who he is. And he knows the responsibility that he has whenever he's out in public, whenever he's, speaking at a school, because he does a lot, man. He does a lot. He just opened his second restaurant out in St. Charles. He had Flagship on the Fox, and then something Elderwoods or something Woods, Northwoods, I think it is. It's literally like kitty corner from the other one. But he also has a Jared Payton Foundation. He's a motivational speaker as well. So he's taking advantage, and I'm glad to see it. I'm really glad for someone like us, especially, there's a lot of people who get certain things because of the parents, and they usually don't look like us. All right. I'm glad he's been afforded the opportunity, and he's taken and run with it, and he's just giving back every chance he can get. And I appreciate it. And I respect him. I'm fortunate to call him a friend. I was on his CLTV sports feed quite a few times, and he's just an all dude. His place in St. Charles, his first one's called Flagship on the Fox, and then the other one is Northwoods. I believe they're kitty corner from each other. So Flagship on the Fox and Northwoods are his two spots. Northwoods is the one he just opened up a few months ago, but that dude is his first class all the way. And that's the one thing that you want. You want good people in your life, and be associated with good people. And he's just a great person.
Jose Sanchez, Puerto Rico, up in the house.
Boricua in the house, Boricua, ¿qué tú estás haciendo, eh?
Hey, man, first time I've ever seen you in the chat. I don't know if you've been here before, but welcome to the family. Welcome to the show. Do us a favor and hit the sub on the way out, man, if you really enjoy the content. We'll be forever grateful to you for that. But welcome to the show, Jose. But
AC Adam, I apologize for.
I gotta apologize.
Yeah. I thought I'd bring that up.
I AC, my bad, man. I was so busy trying to get rid of Booty Tribe, man. I hit the wrong button, and I apologize for that, man. We love you up in here, man. But I got a little fetish, man. A little admission I gotta make, man. I love those old grain. That's a fetish, man. Those old grainy basketball, football videos of. I just absolutely love that stuff, man. Like Chris and I was just talking the other day about some basketball video. I was like, man, I would love for 1 year they just take the 3-point stripe out of the league just for an experiment, just to see how people react to it. Mm-hmm. And I just, man, you just had better more versatile basketball players back then without that 3-point line because they had to be. You know, and that's a whole other subject. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, you don't want to
Hey,
hear
come
my
on.
opinion on that.
We could do that. We could do that on my show.
Right.
Just invite me, please.
Yeah, he would actually, man. He would be a good guest if you want to go down that line of conversation, man.
Because I'm old. That's what he's saying. I'm old.
No, I mean you actually study that kind of stuff, man. So, and you actually live some of that too, man. So
I was there, young man.
all right, so next person, man, that got the nod was who you got, Chris? The Beast, Julius. I did not know, man. Shawn, how many years did they say he played? Chris?
16.
18. Yeah.
16 or 18. He's a first year eligible. He just retired in 2018.
First ballot. He's a first ballot. Dude, this guy is a monster. I don't know if you've ever met him. So that's one of the biggest reasons I was upset that they left Bourbonnais was meeting the players. So we went down there. I'll never forget it. We were down there and we had played a game down there. And I told my people, we went down and did some recon, say, hey, where can we party after the game? So we ended up going to this place called the Library. I don't know if you know about that. It's a bar called the Library across from Olivet Nazarene. So after the game, which was like 15 minutes away, we go there. I get up to go to bed. My friend, I was dating a girl, and she is 5 flat, literally 5 feet flat. So she walks in, like the door, or she's going to the bathroom. The door opens. I just kind of turned because my back was to the door, and in comes this dude. And she didn't see it. She backed up and turned around, and she walked, and she was like literally like right at his waist. She's like, "Well, damn." This dude was svelte, like a V, svelte. Like him and Lance Briggs had walked in, and I was like, damn, like that. Because he's all a 6'7", bro. He's all a 6'7".
He's a freak, man. He's a freak. They call him a freak, man. And he reminds me so much of Montez Sweat. It's not even funny, man.
Should be the other way around.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? But man, hey, man.
Great basketball player in North Carolina, too.
Congratulations to all 3 of those guys. Well deserved. Devin, I know it's late, but it's better late than never, brother. Get there and enjoy the moment. Bask in it. Congratulations, man. That's a great picture there, Chris. That's nice there. I enjoyed the fact it made me feel good on the inside, knowing that this is finally reality, especially for Devin and Mongo. You know what I mean? So, we can still, be upset about, the timing of all of them getting in. I think this is Pepper's his first ballot.
Yes, he is.
So he's good.
Serving, yeah. I think he ranks 5th or 6th all time on all-time sacks. Sacks list. Yeah, he's way up there. I remember we talked about it, and you didn't realize he was that high, but he's way up there.
I had no idea, man.
Yeah,
I had no idea. But
and I'm happy for Devin, man, because he was a specialist, and this is one of the the areas that there's argument about a player on special teams getting in, but this dude was just. I mean, when Deion Sanders admits that somebody's better at something than he was, the dude was good.
Yeah.
And every time they kicked him the ball, you just felt like magic was going to happen. And I can't tell you the number of times my kids or grandkids thought I was going crazy because they'd be in the other room, and all of a sudden they'd hear me screaming because they kicked the ball to Hester. So, just one of my favorite Bears of all time, man.
Man, hey, what's going on, Swift? He said, I'm late. I personally don't think Poles spends a ton on Edge this year. We're about to get into that, man, because Swift. What's funny about that is thinking about how to go about doing this show, which we're going to get to right after this breaking news. I like most people, felt like we need to take a big swing at edge because the position is just so hard to find a college, edge guy. It's hard to project the transition that person is going to make in the NFL because it's a different landscape. You got professional old linemen that get paid to stop you, and it's just different when they get there. And so to me, the free agent market is thick enough at the edge position to really consider, maybe not taking that big swing. maybe not taking that big swing at one guy. I think it's a 2-player approach if you can get them at the right money. So we're going to talk about that here shortly because that's part of my argument. But thank you for the comment. But the next part of what we have to talk about is the breaking news. Go ahead and hit it, Chris. Chris, you still
I'm
there?
here. You wanted the tweet?
Yeah. Did you download it?
No, I didn't get the tweet.
All right. You want to read
I
it?
didn't realize. You sent it to me so late. I didn't get it. Just go ahead. I'd like to ask you to read it to me. Go ahead and read it. You're such a good reader.
So let me. I don't have it sitting in front of me right now. So I thought you got it. So here's I'm gonna paraphrase what Adam Schefter said.
We can get it up, man. With Shefty.
Yeah. So basically, what the word is that the Bears are now leaning towards moving the trading down. So the pick is now for sale, which is what I've been saying. You can hate me now.
You can hate me now.
That's right.
But I won't stop now.
You're all over Twitter trying to, I think if people actually saw me, people might try to attack me on the street because they don't like what I'm saying. And it just makes sense, man. It's just, I heard somebody say that there's a possibility to get 3 1s for this pick.
Yep.
And you get to thinking about that, man. And it's like, what GM that proclaims that he wants to build his team through the draft is going to actually turn that down? I don't give a damn if Barry Sanders is in there. I don't give a damn. If you're trying to build your team through the draft, what logical response are you going to have to the opportunity to do?
Hey! Don't be helping him out, bro. Don't be helping him out. Let him give them 3 number 1s up. Because Caleb's generational. All right? He's generational. Don't be helping him out. Don't be putting seeds of doubt in the Washington fan base. Don't do that.
I'm like Junior, man. I'm like Junior. I think some people's podcasts are exploding right now.
And you know what they're going to do? They're going to do exactly what you said. Man, see, right? They're going to blame it on something. Oh, I can't believe Ryan Poles is doing this. He's making a big mistake. He's doing it. Now they're going to go after Ryan Poles. It's okay. That's okay. And, dude, you called it, and I called it too. We've been saying this ever since the season ended. We've said it.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Swifty might got something. Somebody might have got me. He said, wait, if you're talking about the tweet you quoted, that's from last year at the Nomad Network. Whoa. So somebody might have got me.
Uh-oh.
Somebody might have got me. But I saw Greg Gabriel respond to it. And so it made me.
I couldn't find it, man. I was looking for it and I couldn't find it. I'm sorry.
Well, they might.
I didn't see it either.
They might have got me. That happens on that app, man. But I still say that's what they're gonna do anyway. But you know what I mean? Hey, you know what? Just for the record, I said exactly what I think they're gonna do. But yeah, people do that kind of stuff out here on that app. I ain't have time to really suss it out to really make sure it was. I just looked and seen it was Adam Schefter, and I always look and see how many followers and all that kind of stuff, and it looked legit to me. But yeah, it might have been. They might have got me. Yeah, Brent Coleman, they got me. They might have got me. But really,
well, that's what we think anyway, regardless. And
exactly.
It's okay. And I was surprised because it happened so soon. Because they news like that won't come out this week. That was the only thing. It won't come out this week because nothing can be the NFL. Everything not Super Bowl is on pause right now. The NFL has made sure that
it's a mandate.
Their people. Yeah, it's mandated. They know that there's no big news comes out this week. It is all about the game. All about the game.
Yeah. Well, I'm not like most people. I know how to fall on the sword when I've been had. And ain't no strike to my egos, no meat off of me, no meat off my bones. If you get got in this line of what you do, and you get got, man, you got to suss out your sources better. I just didn't have time to do that. And so my apologies, people. Hopefully you will accept that. But as of now, we got to move on. Got to move on to the opportunities that we have at Edge. Now, I'm going to explain myself again. I partly said it when I was speaking, responding to what Swift said. See, for the longest time, and I'm like most people. Again, I would love to take the big swing at Danielle Hunter or Brian Burns because that's how much I really believe in those two talents. I think they are difference makers day one. The minute you put them on the field, they change your defense. However, I think the talent pool in the market is deep enough so that, and in consideration, Shawn, of the new defensive coordinator that we have and some of those pieces that are coming from Buffalo that may not get re-signed over there. They're gonna have salary cap problems, but just the idea of maybe not trying to, because you like a guy so much, not being so enamored with that one player that you miss an opportunity to get two at mid-level money. And so that's where I want to go, man. I just want to start the conversation off that way. What do you think about that? Hold on with this, Chris. Pull this down, because I don't want to. Please pull this down. Let's just talk about it on its face. Let's talk about Brian Burns, Daniil Hunter, and AJ Espinosa and Jadeveon Clowney. Let's just talk about what would it take to get either one of those guys for the one player. I mean, Burns or what's his name? Daniil Hunter. What would it cost to get that? I think we're in 20 million and up.
Give or take, yeah. I like Daniil Hunter. The only thing is he'll be 30. He's 29. And I don't know if you're going to give him a 5-year deal, 4-year deal for someone that age. Brian Burns is 25, so you have a lot more of the meat left in his career. But I do love Daniil Hunter. I really do. I mean, you give him a 3-year deal, maybe. I think that could work. 29, 30, and 31. But if you do go with Daniil Hunter, then you're definitely going to have to draft his replacement, this year and let him develop. I think Burns is a phenomenal talent, like I said, and he's younger. If you get him, man, think of the youth on that defense, the talent and the youth on that defense. So,
I was going to say that Spot Track has Daniil Hunter calculated market value at $20 million even, the annual average. And I think that's in part due to him being 29. He will turn 30
September,
during
October?
the season. In October. It'll be after the season starts. So the thing I'd say about Daniil Hunter, man, is that dude, it's just the numbers don't lie. His production is just off the charts. And if you can sign him to 4 years, you front load it. I mean, I still think he can be productive at least for another 3 seasons, man. And like I said, I'm still having nightmares from the 2 times he played the Bears this year. Dude, I'm sure Justin Fields is too. I was just going to say Brian Burns is projected to be at 21.7 million. Now that might seem a little low to everybody, but consider his numbers were way down this year. And I think he only had 5 or 6 sacks. But youth is on his side, so he'll probably get more than 21.7, I think.
Because it only takes one, and you always have. I mean, you always overpay in free agency.
Yeah,
you always overpay in free agency. My only question, and I like this. I would love another defensive end and have a couple meetings at the quarterback with whoever it is with Montez Sweat. One of the things that I'm not concerned. Like I like DeMarcus Walker. I think he's a great rotational guy. You know what I mean? I think he's got a nice little motor, but I do want them to draft someone. All right. Draft someone. And if you can get him in free agency, fine. The thing for me is I want that defensive line just to be ruthless. All right. Ruthless. And there's, because when you got someone like Sweat, you got someone like, Billings, you get another dog on that end, and I hope Javon Dexter can turn into that. And because he's I really love Javon Dexter. You got 6, 8 dogs in that rotation, man. That defensive line. If you thought our secondary was the strength last year, wait till this year when we got some dogs sick and going after and attacking, and people can't stop it. You know what I mean? And I think that might be the only area I think we're set in at linebacker position. We got the jackhammer behind our 2 starters. We got Noah Sewell behind them. So I think we're good at the linebacker position. I think maybe a safety, signing JJ, of course, but that it's just going to make that, to me, it's going to make that secondary better. You get another dog on that team, and who's to say that Ryan Poles doesn't make a play for like a 3-tech, doesn't make a play for Deron Payne. He trains with Washington, you know what I mean? And my goodness, just imagine if that happens, So if he does that, I think he might just use a pick on the defensive end of the draft. I don't know if he'll go and get one in free agency, a high price one in free agency.
Well,
I think he's going to probably go after one in free agency and draft one. A lot of it revolves around the first pick and how many assets he can pick up. I mean, that would almost be a luxury pick if he signs one in free agency and then goes out and drafts one high. That's what I would love for him to do. I mean, even if he doesn't go out and spend $20 million on Neil Hunter or a Brian Burns, get one of the guys to the next level. And I know Nomad doesn't like, but Bryce Huff to me would be an option at probably half the money you're talking about the other guys. And yeah, he's somewhat of a specialist, but man, when a guy leads the league in pressure rate 2 years in a row, that says something about him. So you go out and get him. You still got to draft a guy, and that's where Darius Robinson or
that leading in pressure rate is a little loaded, Chris. Why? Because he comes in on certain downs.
Yeah, but
he's going to get pressures if he's only in pretty much on pass rushing.
That's a lot of players though. That was where Yannick. He comes in on pressure on passing downs too. So I mean, you're talking about paying maybe $3 million more than you paid Yannick for a younger player who did that job better. And you still got to draft a guy, Darius Robinson, somebody like that, in the second round if you pick up that pick. I think that's a good strategy.
Here's what I think might be being thought of in the Hallis Hall. Again, I'm gonna give a little bit. What makes me think differently is because we have a different defensive coordinator. But I do think, there's value in getting that one stud defensive end, Shawn, Daniil Hunter, Brian Burns. You can't lose if you sign one of those. But look at the options. And think about this, man. And one thing I do not like, and I'm okay with it, but I just understand why people mention this, especially when it comes to a 31-year-old football player at the edge. I don't care about the age. All I care about is the dollar amount. I look at the tape, and if I can't see a downturn in that player's production, like I said it all last year, Jadeveon Clowney would have been a steal in free agency last year. And look what he did for Baltimore this year. He was crazy out there. If you don't see a downturn in their production, speed of their get off, if you don't see them taking a step back or getting a little bit slower or anything like that, or something like that to give you an indication that this dude is on his way down, he could still be peaking. And so my thoughts about this have changed. I feel like if we do not get a defensive end, a stud defensive end at the right price, I think we can go 2 defensive ends and be okay. Like a Clowney and an AJ Espinosa. I would be over the moon about that. But that's just part of the conversation we're here to talk about.
I don't mind that. And here's the thing. The reason with that is, the only problem with that is at that age, I just don't want that drop off to be steep. All right. Like he'll have 9, 10, 12 sacks, and the next year he's got 3. You know what I mean? But I think it helps because if you do get 2 guys like Espinosa and just say you get either Chase Young or Daniil Hunter, like they're gonna be rotating. Like they're not gonna be, they might rotate by series. You know what I mean? So you talk about keeping people fresh, and the thing I like about the reason I like Daniil Hunter is because he plays the run very well. All right. And but if you can get 2 guys, 2 less expensive guys, who are, who do the same thing, who can rush the passer and who can play the run fairly well to really well. And yeah, I think that's what Poles is going to do. And you just keep rotating them. And the more, and you know what, the old saying, man, competition breeds success, man. You know what? There's internal competition on that defensive line. You're going to have to step your game up. And Montez Sweat has really set the bar high. And you saw how toward the end of the year when he got there, how Javon Dexter did well. You saw Andrew Billings did really, really well. Hell, he played so well they got him an extension. So, and DeMarcus Walker was starting to make plays later in the year. And yeah, it is. And I do think it's possible that Yannick comes back. It might be. Okay, you didn't do well last year, so instead of 10, we'll give you 8.
Let's talk about that because Chris, I'm gonna go ahead and let you get put on the cross, man. Because he was talking mad stuff about Giannis.
Listen, and Shawn hit it. I mean, his production. He was injured, but his production was down. And I just think, the Yannick experiment. We gave him $10 million, didn't work out. You can direct that to somebody else's productivity, and that's why I mentioned, Bryce Huff. I think. His productivity, and he plays the same basic role as, third down pass rush specialist. I'd be, there's a reason why nobody has ever given Yannick a long-term deal. And he's been with, 4 or 5 teams, is because just what we talked about. So, not hating on the brother, but, I'd move off of Yannick and redirect that resources to someone else.
I believe 100%. Now I'm just because Shawn will relate to what I'm about to say. And Chris, if you can grab the chat. Now, if you're just think about yourself as a player, Shawn, think about yourself, picture yourself as an NFL player. You get they convince you to take a 1-year deal. You came in looking for a 2-3-year deal. You're Yannick Ngakoue, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they convince you to take the 1-year deal. And you got 17 games to get to the next contract, right? You got 17 games, and basically to get to the next contract, I need to be healthy to get the kind of money that I need, that I'm asking for. In my mind, I'm not saying that Yannick went out there and dogged it by any means, but Yannick is when you got to understand, players don't have guaranteed contracts. Only guaranteed money is what you get up front.
Well,
rest of that stuff don't mean nothing, man. You know what I mean?
Kirk Cousins.
And so you always got to have that in your head. As an NFL player, you got to be looking at your next contract. So it was Yannick sometimes probably saving himself. I would not blame him if he did, because you got to get to your next contract. And in order to get what you think you deserve, you got to be healthy to get it, right? And so I was trying to tell Chris that plays a part in an NFL player's mind, whether you want to agree with that or not, whether that pisses you off or not. And based on the production that he had, Chris was upset about it. I was just telling him that's part of the conversation, because it's true, man. You got 1-year guys that's really not sold on what the hell's going on in that building, because he doesn't know if he's coming back next year. He's not going to give you everything he's got.
Which is another reason I don't want him. Because
you just ignored everything I just said.
No, I didn't. I'm saying you made a blanket statement, and you made that as though that's every NFL player's motivation. It's not. Some guys play with motor. Some guys they're not going to turn their motor off because they're thinking about their contract. Some guys, when they're on the field, they go at one speed all the time, and they don't think about, I better chill out because, I'm not going to make my money. Some of them do think that way. That
might be an idiot. You got to take care of yourself to get to the next contract. You need to save yourself something.
Well, yeah, but that whole thing is you got to play your ass off to get to that next contract.
Thank you, Shawn.
You got to. And the thing is, like, I understand that you wanted him to play the run and everything, but he was a sack specialist. He hadn't had less than 8.5 sacks every single year up until last year. So they were expecting 8.5 sacks. All right. And if you get him 8.5 sacks, okay, then Ryan Poles said, okay, let me draft another dude, keep this guy, and have 2 guys coming off rotating. But I just think that in a 1-year deal, you got to ball out. You got to ball out.
Samo just made a hell of a. I just started studying him last night. Samo, you dirty dog, man. Why you ain't in the show, man? That's all I want to know, man. Why you ain't got your ass in here, man? But yeah, John, there's a lot. We're about to put that free agent list up there in a second. But I'm a pro player person. I just me being a former football player, I'm gonna always lean towards defending the football player. That's just the way I'm made up anyway. And so I can understand someone that fails, especially if you go into a team that you didn't see as a playoff contender in the first place, that you just there for a year, and the hell if I get 10, 12, 15 sacks. This team ain't going to the playoffs. You got that mindset too. But I respect the thought that, you ought to be going out there and giving it everything you got every play. And I respect all of that. But in reality, man, the reality is sometimes they feel like they need to save themselves for the next contract. And I respect that part of it too.
Yeah,
So,
well, you and I are on the opposite sides of the fence on that one,
right.
because I think you have to, if you're on a 1-year deal, that is getting you to that next. I mean, you got to go balls out until you get that big contract. Not saying that you ease up once you get the contract, but you got to go balls out, because I mean, who's going to give you a big contract if you're saving yourself? Who's going to give you a big contract? Who's going to go out and sign Yannick Noah? Did you say Yannick Noah?
Yeah, you might as well. You might as well.
Joe Kim's dad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yannick Ngakoue, who's going to go sign him to $10 million this year? See what I mean? Like he played himself out of money this year, because had he got 8.5 sacks, he might be able to get another 1 year or a 2-year deal, or because he stayed consistent, but he didn't stay consistent. His number, and I don't think anyone on the market is going to pay for him $10 million like he got last year. Nope, I don't think anybody, because you didn't show out. You didn't show out. I just think it as a 1 year, when you get a 1-year deal, you have to show out. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's all. We just agree to disagree. That's all.
That's all right, man. I ain't got no problem with that at all, man. It's a counter argument, and I see both sides of it 100%, man. And
we win, Shawn. We won.
Yeah, okay. Okay. But yeah, it's I just, if they ended up re-signing Yannick, I'm absolutely not gonna have a problem with that whatsoever.
Me either.
I just give him a couple years, man. At least let him look forward to not having to move his damn family for another year. He's got
that's huge. That's huge, Nomad.
Yes,
that's huge.
You get tired of that.
Yeah. And he might do that just because he's tired of moving his family. He just might do that and say, hey, listen, I'll take million. All right, I'll take 6 million, 7 million, or I'll take 5 million with a lot of incentives. And I think that's probably the best way to go, because now you're not on the hook on it. Doesn't affect your salary cap, and you say, hey, you get 8 to 10 sacks, you get an extra $500,000. You get 12 sacks, you get an extra $500,000. You know what I mean? Like you hit benchmarks. Man, $500,000 here, $500,000 there, $500,000 here, $500,000 there. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the best way to go with him if you want to bring him back. He's played for Flus before. He hasn't had a whole season with Montez Sweat. Now he's going to have a whole season, a whole offseason, a whole season with him. Man, that makes a whole lot of difference too. Like I said, I just want people to meet at the quarterback. I just want constant meetings at the quarterback. That's what I need. That's what I want.
Shawn, I'm gonna ask this question for you, man. Jose Sanchez had a question for you, but before we do that, man, I felt in such a deep way. I mean, when I say in a deep way, I felt that in my soul. When Robert Quinn, the look on his face when he said he doesn't want to go anywhere and he's tired of having to move his family.
Yep,
I felt that in such a deep way, and I don't know that your average fan really considers that. They just see him as a fantasy piece. Oh yeah, we got this person. Yeah, we got that person. That person got to uproot his life and move his whole existence to Chicago in hopes that he can get a longer contract. I mean, all that stuff is important, man. But hey, man, I just felt him in a deep way, man. I never really looked at it the same since I seen Robert Quinn express himself that day before he got traded. And so that's just me, man. I got a big heart anyway. But if you don't mind putting that question back up for Shawn, I'll let him answer. Okay, go ahead, Shawn. You don't need nobody to read for you.
Yeah, well, I just pass hooked on phonics, so it takes me a little bit to still sounding things out.
Let me say it out loud. Jose says, Shawn, what do you think about the Bears picking up Muhammad Kamara in the later rounds? I think he would be a great player to develop, but I could be wrong. Have you checked that guy out? I
have not checked him out. So
Colorado
Jose.
State.
Yeah.
DBA. Oh, that dude. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. You know what? And here's the thing. You got to play special teams, Papa. You're going to have to play special teams. All right, if you're going to be a developmental piece, all right, then you have to play special teams, and I'm cool with that. And you know what? There's nothing wrong. There's literally nothing wrong with getting a guy and develop. If you see that talent, all right, and what better? You get a guy like that who just needs guidance, who just needs coaching, who just needs stars. Because listen, if you're a baller, okay, you want competition. You want other people who are as good as you around. Because now you compare yourselves to them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I would love to get that young man. All right, because they understand, and to play with someone like Montez Sweat, to play with someone like Javon Dexter, because I think he's going to be really good. You get guys, and there's competition, man. And he's going to come in and say, man, I want to learn from Montez Sweat, but I also want to be as good as him. And yeah, you get guy, heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Go get him, develop him. Like I said, he's going to be a big time special teams guy. And you got to deal with that. You're going to be on punt return, kickoff return, you know what I'm saying? Field goal, extra point field goal. But you know what? Sometimes you got to pay your dues.
Well, I'll just be quite frank with you. I love Muhammad Kamara as a player. He's explosive as hell, man. He's so fast getting off that ball.
Bro, but he could be that one-trick pony. Like, it's okay to be a one-trick pony. It's okay. Ask Mark Anderson. They got him some money.
They may really covet that, man. But if it's based on what I know about their type, you know, we obviously have a type. They want big, long guys. They want length. And that's the only thing that would stop
short. I think he comes in at 6'1".
Yeah, he's small. Very small.
Don't forget,
his motor is nonstop though.
Remember what the Giants did. And this is what I asked this last year. Like, what about a NASCAR team, a NASCAR package where you get smaller, faster guys? Sometimes you don't need big defensive linemen. Just remember they did that in the Super Bowl against the Pats. All right, they put four defensive ends, took out the two DTs and put four defensive ends in there and rushed the passer. Sometimes it just to switch it up. And if he's a little lighter, he's going to should be a lot quicker and explosive, man. There's different packages you can use out of obvious passing down. Hell yeah, why not?
Well, one thing before we get to this list of free agents, man, we just Pop Booty Tribe on out of here, man. We tired of him, man. He's done.
But we do appreciate the free publicity yesterday. He dedicated the show to the Nomad Network.
Man, that was so nice of him.
Wasn't that nice?
That dude is so goofy, man. Hey, man,
he can write a book book report tomorrow in his freshman literature class about the Nomad Network. And guys, don't engage in that stuff. I mean, you know what? That just ushers him on. So I don't engage if you can help it.
Hey, Sam, don't worry about it, man. It'll take him about 5-10 minutes to get a new email. He'll be right back. So, anyway, man, let's look at this list of free agents that are out there. See, I look at this list, Shawn, and this is what makes me not get so sold on getting that one guy that's going to cost this large amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
You look at this list, you looking at a lot of production right there. That's a lot of production right there, buddy boy. And I'm talking about your let's look past Danielle Hunter. It's Darius Smith. Probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of what you had to pay Danielle Hunter. Yannick Ngakoue this year. Very productive. Chase Young, expensive. I don't know, how much. Everybody's thinking it's going to be about
Chase is not going to be expensive as he started out being. I think his market value, according to Sport Track, is going to be $13 million.
Nah,
because
I
think their numbers are all low.
If you can get him in that ballpark, Chase Young should definitely be on the table.
I think Chase will be cheaper because of all the rumors that they've been put out, and I don't know if they've been put out by teams or whatever, but they're talking. I mean, hell, there was rumors about them sitting him for the NFC Championship game because it's like you don't hustle a lot. And we've seen Flus, man. Flus talks about hustle, talks about practice, talks about I got to see it during the week. I got to see it, and if he don't do that, man, he ain't gonna offer. And they could tell his representation. What's all this about? What are these rumors about? Have you know what I mean? And we'll offer you this. And I think in this case, because there's so many people, I think you give someone a nice little base salary, all right, and you give them a slew of incentives. Like, okay, you think you want a big contract? Okay, how about this? We'll give you X amount millions of dollars. Again, you hit 4 sacks, you get $250,000. You get 8 sacks, you get another $250,000. You get 12 sacks, you get another $500,000. Like, you can make another $1 million just by going getting that quarter.
So I think Darius sets at 12.4 market value.
Hold on just for 1 second. First of all, I think Clavon Chason, I think is a 3-4 linebacker, edge rusher. I don't know that he's a fit. They could be looking at this defense completely different now with the defensive coordinator. So please pardon me for just what I think they are looking for now based on what we had going on before. But let's get to the next. Chase Young. If we get Chase Young at 13 damn million, man, what? But Leonard Floyd, very, very, very high on him, man. Why? Because he played in their defense last year, Shawn. He played in Buffalo's defense, got 11 and 12 sacks. And he's to me, he's I would dare to say that Leonard Floyd is in his prime right now.
So he's 31, 32. I think he got better. I think he had better coaching when he left. And I mean, it helps when you're playing with Aaron Donald. Let's keep it a buck. You know what I mean? But I do think he has been.
He did that at Buffalo this year. He got 11 to 12 sacks with Buffalo with
no. I know, but I'm saying, remember when he left here, he went to L.A.
Right.
And I think he was developed there, and I think he learned a lot. I wouldn't be. I guess, but you know what? Here's the one thing that. I guess, man, I'm not keen on guys coming back, because I mean we've seen how production can really, really fall off. Like, I don't understand. Like, I was really like Terrell Lewis last year. Like, I was excited for him, and they cut him. I'm like, dude, this dude is a monster. Remember he had a couple sacks in the preseason, and I was like, man, what do you? But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. There's something about the bringing Leonard Floyd back that just doesn't sit well with me. I don't know. I don't think he's a piece of garbage or anything, and a bad person. No, not that at all. It's just something in my gut is like, yeah, keep it moving.
And he's 31.
That doesn't bother me one.
He'll be 32 toward the beginning of the season. His number, according to Spot Track, is 8.1 million.
Leonard, okay. I mean, that
his age doesn't bother me one iota. Man, not one little bit, man. I look at the tape and I see a fast, explosive player that has learned, and he just played in Eric Williams' defense and Eric Washington's defense, and he knows exactly what to do out there. So again, I always say this to people: when you bring in new coordinators, first thing they want to do is see what kind of pieces they can get that are just the known commodities that they can get on the defense, and it makes the learning curve a little bit shorter for the guy that's coming in and teaching the concepts and the techniques. It makes it shorter, and so people get acclimated faster. So do not be surprised if you see Leonard Floyd or an AJ Espinosa make it on our free agent market, man.
But that's the same thing with Yannick, bro.
Huh?
Yannick Ngakoue played with, and that was everything that you just said was perfectly tailored for Yannick Ngakoue. He was supposed, because he had played under Flus. He had got 8.5 sacks every year, and they thought he was going to come over. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like, it production can drop quick. That's the thing. And Yannick Ngakoue wasn't even 31. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, what you saw from Leonard Floyd was great last year. What we saw from Yannick Ngakoue the year before was good. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm a little leery. But if you can get two of those guys at $7 million, $8 million, as opposed to paying somebody 20, well, again, now you're keeping dudes fresh. Now you're limiting their reps, so they understand. Like, damn, I ain't getting 100% of the snaps. I'm getting 30, 40% of the snaps. I got to make if I want that next contract, which we were talking about earlier, I'm going to have to ball out in these limited amount of reps, and that's where we get the value.
Okay, hey, just for the sake of time, I don't think there's any chance that Jacksonville is letting Josh Allen out of there at all. I think it's
I think they've said as much also.
Yeah, I don't think that he is too good, man. Brian Burns, I think, quite frankly, I think they may tag him. It's a good chance that they may tag him. They may just, feel like they could, keep rebuilding. I just don't see him getting out of there. There's an outside chance, but I think these guys underneath here are the more interesting conversations, like Jadeveon, AJ, Uche, who I think is a 3-4 linebacker, Jonathan Grenard. That's an interesting one. Samuel, I just started looking at him the other day, man. I looked at him again yesterday. Man, he's interesting to talk about. Carl Lawson, Michael Dana, interesting guys. Carl Lawson especially, very, very, very underrated defensive end. Whoa, the Canuck just joined us, man. What got your interest, man, and made you want to jump in and have something to say about this Canuck?
The answer I would give you to this is too funny, so I can't give it to you. I'm gonna save that answer for later on backstage. I'll give you both you guys a laugh. Actually, all four of you guys will laugh. But the Canuck is in the building. The wrath of the Canuck. The wrath of the Canuck. The wrath of the Canuck.
So let's just start with Jadeveon Clowney. I'm gonna just say this one more time. I don't give a damn how old Jadeveon Clowney is. Just go look at some damn Baltimore Ravens tape, and you tell me you don't want that guy on your team.
What was his? I mean, is that Chris? What's his market value? Because if you get you get him at $2.5 million, hell, $5 million. You get him at $5 million, I'm all over that like stink on. Whoo.
What about 7.2? That's what SportsZone has value.
That's still fair.
Hell yeah, that's fair. Then I am definitely down with that. I remember him in high school. I had a defensive end coming out with him. You remember he was a number one defensive player, number one defensive end as well. And my kid was the 16th rated defensive end coming out of high school. So I remember watching. I saw a lot of his film coming out of high school. But yeah, 7 million, 8 million, 7, 8 million. Psh, I'll take that.
See, this helps me go down the road of you can get 2 for 1.
Yeah, hey, I told you I'm cool with that. I am cool with that. And then if you can get him and Espinosa, dude, Espinesa's only 25 years old. He'll be probably 26 during the season. All right, you're talking about right in his prime. Give him, he 1.5. Give him what, 3 million? You double his salary. You know what I'm saying? Like, man. And now
AJ
Espinosa, yes.
5.6 is.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So 12 million, 13 million for those two, done. Twice on Sunday, done.
You guys can see, everybody gets, unlike anybody else when it comes to this, you see that big name out there and you see exactly what you can imagine what that's gonna look like on the other side of you with a defense with Montez Sweat, and you just, oh yeah, hell yeah, you gotta get Daniil Hunter, you gotta get Brian Burns, you gotta get Chase Young. But when you start looking down this list of talent, man, I keep telling people, man, it's not like you can just go into the draft and this dude is going to automatically turn into a stud NFL edge rusher. Man, that's a specific skill set that you got to be really toolsy because you're playing against pros now. This ain't college, man. You can't just dip into the draft and this guy's going to day one come up and just turn up numbers, man. No, man, it just doesn't work like that. It happens once in a while. You can get a guy like who we're talking about, Yaya Diaby came into the Buccaneers and got 7, 8, 9 sacks. That's pretty rare for a rookie, but it doesn't happen all the time. You have this much of a known commodity and options to sign one guy or two guys for the right price. I think smart money says they go and get 2.
It makes sense, bro, because you got to realize if you stay with Justin, all right, Justin's going to, his payday's coming up. All right, and again, I don't think he's going to be making $40 million a year. I don't. I just, I think the Bears, the organization has screwed him out because of what they put him through. But again, you want everything budgeted, man, which is why I'm so high on all those picks. If we trade that first round pick, because now you're budgeted, where how much they're going to cost, and you're going to have to make sure you have enough budgeted for Justin. I'm saying 30, maybe 35 mil a year, all right, and you can't be going and spending another 10, $12 million on one guy. And I think if you, like you said, if you can get 2 for 1 for that $10 or $12 million, then hell yeah, because now you rotate. You know what I mean? So I'm cool with that. I'm more than cool with that, man. I'm more than cool with that.
Hey, Samo, man, trust me and believe me when I tell you, I'm all over Dorrance Armstrong, who's probably going to get. They probably not going to be able to sign him. And Dorrance Armstrong, the measurements on him is like 6'4", 255 is what it looks like on paper. I don't see 6'4", 255. I see 6'4", about 265 when I look at him play on field. And Dorrance Armstrong does fit the part. If you're talking about a edge rusher that's big, that's long, that is he captures the edge as well as he rushes the passer. Dorrance Armstrong, if I had to list my top, if they went 2 for 1, if I had to list my top guys, it'd be up there: AJ Espinosa, Leonard Floyd, Jadeveon Clowney. Dorrance Armstrong's right there with him, man. For the price we're talking about with Chase Young, he's in the conversation. Because if that's any kind of accurate, I think you have to strongly consider putting Chase Young on the other side of Montez Sweat.
So I know you guys touched on this a little bit before, but do you think there's any chance that that Yannick stays on a lower price tag?
It's possible.
Yeah, we talked about that. Hell yeah,
it's possible. We got a little bit of a knife fight with Chris a little bit. But
I heard I caught just the end of it before I jumped in. I know Chris ain't having it, and me and Chris have had that conversation before. But the reality to me is, I think you all sort of danced around it. He didn't really meet that $10 million expectation this year. So, regardless as to what the reasons were for that, what happens next? Do they cut him? Do they let him go? Or do they re-sign him to a lower end deal? It's just me, but I think he was coming on a little bit there when Sweat came in. And, I think there might be a little bit more in the tank than we got to see because he got hurt right after Sweat joined the team. Again, cost-effective case scenario, incentive-laden case scenario. I think both of those things might bode well with a Yannick Ngakoue re-signing.
Now, we talked about that. We said he's going to have a whole offseason to work with Montez Sweat. He's going to have a whole season to work with Montez Sweat. So he would, yeah, Joseph, you're damn right. He could come back at a decent deal. Yeah. And we talk, and like you said, Canuck, kids, man, make it incentive laden. I'm telling you, and make it pretty accessible. So you get four sacks, you get 150 extra, 250,000. You get 8 sacks, you get another 250,000. You get 10, you get double-digit sacks or 12 sacks or say 11 sacks. You get 500,000. You don't think that dude's going to come in when he's in his limited role? Man,
honestly, I would do him even one better. I'd allow him to get right back up to that 10 mil with incentives, given that they were paying 10 mil for approximately 10 sacks last year. Like that was what they were thinking. He puts in about 8 to 10 a year. We'll give him 10 mil for 8 to 10. Okay, well, if you can meet that margin, you can make the 10 mil. But your deals for 6.
How many prove-it deals do you get though? I mean, what's the rule? Where do you cap out at prove-it deals?
No,
and to me, he didn't prove it.
He didn't.
I wasn't I was more for Justin Houston coming really because I thought Justin Houston gave you more upside, even though he was a lot older. But
I wanted Clowney. I'm with you.
Chris, just admit it, man. He rubbed you the wrong way, and you ain't gonna change.
No, I have nothing. I don't know the man. He couldn't rub me the wrong way. He just,
where did he rub you at, man? Where did he rub?
He's never stuck.
I don't want to know where he rubbed him at all. Let's leave that alone.
He hasn't rubbed me. I don't allow men rubbing me. He doesn't.
Email masseuse.
He's never been signed to a long-term deal or stayed with the team very long. There's a reason for that. So, I mean, we gave him a prove-it deal. I think he failed, and you just move on. There's too many other options that can come in at that same price point.
Well, someone asked about why would Samo asked why you want
to put Samo's comment up. I was just going to touch it, but
man, stop it, man.
Here's my explanation. Like, so you're gonna penalize a guy for one bad year. It's not like he's had a spotty and inconsistent pass. He has a very consistent pass. He's had 8.5 sacks every year up until last year.
Yeah.
So is that an anomaly, or does that mean that his production is going down? That's what I mean. Like you can't just, you know what I mean? Like 1 year, people can have a bad year for whatever reason, but it doesn't mean that. But it is a chance. I agree with you. But if you're going to go off of that,
I don't think he's trending up. I'd just much rather sign a younger player that's trending up. I think Bryce Huff is trending up. Costs you a little bit more money, but for the same role, the guy's younger and he's trending up.
But here's where I am with the Samo question, right? So more Yannick than Bojack, and this like Bojack, we've had the Bojack conversation, and to me, it's more of a leadership, team friendly situation. If you'd like to stick around, stay in Chicago, keep your family here, maybe again, you sign for a team friendly deal that looks nothing like what you have on the table as far as Bojack is concerned. Yannick is a little bit different because of what depth looks like at the defensive end position. You still need to have somebody that you can potentially count on to get those sacks. Did he get them last year? No. He also didn't really have a partner that was helping him on the other side for the better part of the year. That definitely affected him, and he definitely started to get a heck of a lot more pressure after Sweat returned. Guys, to me, guys like Dominique Robinson, who you're trying to develop and haven't made an impact, should be a little bit more in question than a guy has consistently made an impact in the NFL and just didn't last year for one reason or the next. If you're going to put some money into a guy and you need that depth, just me, if you can get a deal on a Yannick, I would do the deal.
And keep this in mind, guys, too. We've got plenty of money if they do cut Whitehair and Bojack. We don't have the money we had last year. We had plenty of money last year, and so they're going to be more, keep the purses tied to the vest, closer to the vest this year. I just don't see it.
Well, I know this, man. We're at an hour and 3 seconds, man. We can carry this conversation on for a while. Because I think what's going to happen is, and I probably shouldn't say this, but we're going to look at other positions in the free agent market moving forward, man. And the conversation is going to be as fiery as it was in this one, because the options are there's a lot of them. There's just all there is to it, and it's just about trying to project what you think a GM would do in this given situation with his cap and with the position being fairly thick. I think when we start discussing safety and center and all that kind of stuff, some of those positions of need, we feel like we need to address in free agency. The conversation is going to, I think at safety is definitely going to be like it was here. And maybe not, I guess, no, I think this one's going to be the safety is going to be a thick conversation. I really do. And so before we get out of here, man, we do have to do a station identification.
Yeah, what channel is this?
The best Chicago Bears content anywhere. Catch Nomad live pregame 1 hour prior to kickoff, and Nomad at night postgame, and every Friday evening at 7 p.m. Central on all the most popular streaming platforms, and only on the Nomad Network.
Hey. Only.
Hey, well, before we get out of here, let me address this from Muck the General. Chase ain't getting no. I think he's trying to say 20 million. Yeah. I think had he put up 12 to 15 sacks, I think he'd get that 20 million, and you can't argue with it. I think because he did not, I think he put up something around 7, I believe, altogether. I might be wrong. I might not be anywhere near the ballpark of what he put up, but I think that's what I saw. But I think Chase Young not getting that 20 million did us a favor. I mean, not getting those 12 to 15
sacks. Yeah.
It pulls
7.5.
Yeah.
7.5 this year, yeah.
It pulls us away from that $220 million threshold that everybody assumed that he would have to that he would demand with his play. So it helped us. And so I'm not mad that Chase didn't have. All I know is when you put him on the field with Montez Sweat, his game changes. I know that you see a different Chase Young on tape than you saw when you see him at San Fran. He's different when he plays with Montez Sweat. I keep comparing the tape, and he's something about Montez Sweat brings out he wants to be the dog D lineman on the team, and Montez Sweat keeps one upping him, and he just chasing it. And so that's what I
No
see.
pun intended.
Yeah, I mean, straight up.
Keep
But,
in mind, man, Ryan Poles does not overpay for anybody. He's got a number, and he's going to stick to it.
Yeah, I agree.
And so let's get some shout outs when we get out of here. We'll start with you, Chris.
Hey, want to shout out to everybody in the chat, even the negative guys that came in. Thanks for the free publicity yesterday. All my guys, Muck, Do It All 36. He don't want Chase, especially with the injury history. Jose Sanchez, Brian Hendren, I love you, my brother. Cornelius, Samo, love to have you here, man. Thanks for popping in with you. We love you, man. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, you guys. We're on our way to 1,000, and we definitely need your help. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, and don't forget to turn on your notifications so you'll know when we're going on. Kids, thanks for coming in, man. It's good seeing your green hoodie, buddy. I love you. And
it's not Green Bay green.
Okay.
That's all that's important.
Shawn, I love you, man. Thanks for being with us, man. Like I said, every time you're here, I just I'm get educated. So hey, bear down, guys.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what up, chat? I just wanted to come and show some love. You guys have really been you've really been active during these daytime shows, so I figured I'd come in, jump in, and just show a little bit of love to my guys as well as you. There's a fair amount of new folks that I haven't seen in the chat. Jose Sanchez. I saw a whole different Cornelius Gibson. Yeah, Cornelius Gibson. There's apparently there's a lot more Corneliuses out there that I'm aware of. Anyways, guys, thanks for representing with us. As far as Yannick is concerned, as far as Chase Young is concerned, he put out some really bad tape towards the latter part of this season, and I think that's going to affect his situation as we move forward. To that degree, I was hoping we would really be interested in bringing him to Chicago. I'm a lot less excited about that as an idea now. That being said, bear down, guys. Thanks for representing with us. SuperBack.
All my sports zoners who are checking in, who came over, thank you for the support. All the No Maniacs, man, keep up the support. We love it. Do us a favor. Do me a favor. Following Sports Zone Chicago. Please go over there. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. All right, Sports Zone Chicago, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Keep following us. We're doing this new show during the day. We like it. We're building up traction, and just keep showing up and support. And we're going to keep giving you great content. And as you saw, we don't always agree. Me and Nomad didn't agree today on a couple of things, and that's because we keep it a buck. We don't give a damn what other people say or because we have our own minds. We're not regurgitating what anyone else says. We're giving it to you from our experience. So and that's why we just keep it. Everything's real over here. I keep it a buck, and it's real content, man. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you mañana domani for all you Italian speaking people.
So everybody has an opinion, and we respect them all over here. As long as you can be respectful and do it without the name calling and just being respectful of the space that you're in. We do try to keep it positive over here. Thank you for that, Cornelius, man. And that's part of building your brand, man, is what do you want? What do you want your brand to be? And it's being respectful, number one, and it's just giving you real football talk, regardless of what the next person thinks. I might think different than Kids. Kids might think different than me, Shawn and Chris and Samo and anybody else that appears on the network. That's good. That just makes for good content because there's more than one angle to look at something. You know what I mean? So with that being said, ditto to everything everybody said on the way out, man, because you guys show us the love and we try to give it back to you the best way that we can. So before we get out of here, if you haven't hit the like button and you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do that on the way out the door. And one more time, congratulations to our new Hall of Famers, Devin Hester, Julius Peppers, and Steve Mongo McMichael. Congratulations to those guys. They deserve it. And also, before we get out of here, guys, word is that we might get the nod for the Hall of Fame game. So be on the lookout for that. I'll look to confirm that, whether we're going to do it. I don't know if we're going to be able to confirm it, but I'll look into that a little bit more. And I'll apologize again for the fake tweet that we got that I reported here live.
Breaking news.
That was bogus, and I'll follow and sure for that. That's called being a man about it. I had to take that one on the chin, man. But Before we get out of here, I'll leave you guys with these famous words: love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.
Spread out,
Boom.
everybody.